Hey, it's Ben and Bryce here with X Performance Series, and today we're going to be talking about what we do with the trampoline in partnership with Bellicon, in which we think is the best trampoline on the market. Why we think it's so instrumental, at least myself, is it was integral in my rehab when I came back from concussion when I severely damaged my vestibular system and my ocular system. By me training on a trampoline, I was able to rewire, as I say it, my whole vestibular system. And it's so instrumental in a young athlete's development as it helps them get timing, coordination, spatial awareness. The list goes on and on.
Here at our training center, we do lots of work with the trampoline, everything from late stage post-rehab to ankle, knee, hip type injuries from a dynamic stabilization perspective, all the way to power training and you name it. So it's a really great tool. I think something seriously not being used the way it can be and should be within the industry. And the greatest part of it all is every kid loves to do it. It is super fun. No one says, oh, no thanks, I don't want to do the trampoline. They're always like, okay, can I get in the trampoline? So, if you have something that's effective and fun, that's really a home run. So let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's kind of pop down the trampoline here. And, Bryce and I have done a lot of video series on different types of plyometrics and jumping and all that kind of stuff. But what's great about the trampoline is it gives you feedback. It's kind of responding to you and you have to respond to it. So we're going to start with some of the most basic things. Let's just work on a basic jump here, right? And what you understand when you start using a trampoline is that you have to create some stiffness, or meaning that your body can't collapse. You need to use the springs to your advantage, right? So if Bryce wants to collapse. If he bends his knees a lot when he lands, he takes the energy away. If he actually creates a little bit of stiffness, not that he should lock his knees, but he creates some stiffness, he actually will get more and more height. Now, if he adds a little just ankle kick, you'll see his height get a little bit higher.
Now, what's key though is that when you have a young athlete jumping on a trampoline, is that they're not locked. It's that kind of counterintuitive into what you're trying to do. So make sure they're relaxed. It should be kind of a nice, easy flow, at least for what we're doing now. Now, granted, if we're doing some sudden power stop moves, that's different. But for this purpose, just have them jump really nice and fluently and open.
Yeah, so first we want to do is just get into this basic jumping pattern, and can they actually jump consistently, get a nice rhythm, stay relatively centered on the trampoline. You will see kids who don't have good core strength or stability kind of flying all over the place when they first jump on here. So the next thing we're going to do is say, all right, Bryce, well that's pretty good. So how about we add a little bit of side-to-side movement? And now I'm going to just get him moving a little bit side to side, and now can he absorb that energy side to side and then let the trampoline kind of launch me back. And then you see that Bryce stays nice and still. He doesn't have a lot of extraneous movement. And then I can say, all right, Bryce, well that looks pretty good. Show me front to back.
Now, when you have your young athlete jumping on the trampoline, try at the start, they may want to be looking down, see where their feet are until they get comfortable. Once you feel they get comfortable, have them pick their head up. They can still see out of the peripheral vision where they are on the trampoline. It's key for their development.
Yeah, and as hockey players, having your head down is never going to be a good thing for your kid. So we want to learn to keep our heads up, and we want to create that awareness of what's going on below us at our feet. So now he's got a little plus pattern going where he was doing a little front, back, side to side. He's doing some split stances, some scissors. You can kind of be creative as you want within this, and these are just basic patterns. Once you feel good on two legs is where I think, the real training aspect can start coming in place. And for a lot of young kids, even just standing on one leg and trying to hop in place and stay centered can be a big, big challenge. And you also see a lot of asymmetry. So let's just try to hop in place in the center. And what you're going to learn from a coordination and an asymmetry perspective is a lot of kids will be great on one leg and the other leg like, wow, be totally different. So it's a great way to start actually training both sides of the brain and the body to do it. So level one here is, can I just actually stay in the middle of the trampoline and have good body control? Now we can do some of the other things we were doing. Okay, now we're going to stay on one leg, and now we're going to start throwing in that side to side. So we're going to start throwing in those front to backs.
Both legs. Now what's key here is that I bend my knee to absorb the force. I'm not keeping it locked. I'm keeping it bent so I can absorb the force.
Right? So the interesting thing about trampoline is, while he's got his knee bent, he doesn't keep bending maybe the way we would in a box jump or something like that. Because if he doesn't actually at some point create some stability there, then the trampoline can't send him back up in the opposite direction. So that's one of the key things that we do it. So now we can start in front, back, side, side, all of these different types of patterns. And now the kid's brain is moving up and down. Like you said earlier, his eyes, his ocular system is moving up and down. His vestibular system is moving up and down, and it's got to react to these changing of heights and changing unstable environment.
So a couple of things we'll leave you with is they can do some running on it if they want. High knees. You can do some jumping jacks. And all the things that you can do on the ground, but it just adds another element to another trampoline. Another great thing with the trampoline is just not all training. You can use it in your home environment like we do, where if our kids are getting out of control, jumping all over the place, and you say, hey, take a time out, go jump on the trampoline for 5-10 minutes. It does wonders.
Yeah, so besides the timeout situation, here at our facility, we use it for all kinds of purposes. Obviously, it can be used for conditioning. It's unbelievable for developing power, acceleration, deceleration, plyometric training, you name it. And so I'm looking forward to getting involved and showing how we're using these tools and how you can have some fun, train at a high level, use a really cool piece of equipment, and take your sport to the next level.
Yes. Jumping with Bellicon, Ben and Bryce, X Performance Series.